What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel, guys. It's been a minute. We're back with my guy Andrew Austin here with drinking and driving laws in Sweden versus the US. We're about to check this out. It just happened to pop up on my timeline, so I was like, you know what? Been a minute since I seen my guy Andrew Austin. I know this video's fairly a little older. I think it's about 2 or 3 years older, so y'all can let me know how the laws are now and just see. I just know probably a definite big difference considering the fact that you can buy alcohol anywhere in the US, you know, with no problem at all. And it seems like we keep opening up more stores for it anyway. So, but we're gonna check this out, see what it's about. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations.
So in this one, I'm talking about drinking laws in Sweden versus the United States. That's coming up. Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about life in Sweden, sometimes compare it to some things in the United States, being American. If you like that kind of content, consider subscribing. So I wanted to go into it because my perspective has changed a lot, and it's just interesting when I think about drinking and driving laws in general. And I don't have a car here in Sweden, and I haven't been driving much. It's one of the things I have to take care of on my bucket list as far as like getting my driver's license here in Sweden if I'm going to stay longer. But just was thinking about recently the changes and just the differences, because I saw an article that they're thinking about lowering the American drinking age limit, or drinking limit, if you will, blood alcohol content level. They're thinking about lowering it. When I was a kid, they were lowering it from 0.10 to 0.08. So now in the United States, you can have a 0.08 and still be that at 0.08 you are legally intoxicated. Wow. So at 0.07 you're okay. So that's the limit, right? When you hit 0.08, you are over the limit. See,
I'm not a drinker, but I guess that then again, I feel like it depends if you get pulled over, you know.
So that's the limit, right? When you hit 0.08, you are over the limit. So that was always the way it was. So in the United States, like, I can go to the restaurant, eat, and I can have a beer or two according to the blood alcohol content level chart. And I'll get to that chart in a moment and why I'm not maybe the biggest fan of that chart. But if you look at this chart here, you can see that you can have multiple amounts.
So it goes by body weight? Huh. So at every pound. Dang. Shoot, I guess the bigger you are, the more you can drink. The more you weigh, the more you can drink. I wouldn't say bigger. Huh. See, I worked at a restaurant as a bartender. I mean, they never told us. I never seen this chart before. But, I mean, when you see people and they look like they done had like a few drinks, you're going to be able to tell they had a few drinks. And as a bartender, it was always 2 or 3 of us, but I was there with the one, we knew at a certain limit, you can't keep handing a certain person a drink, you know, because some people, even if they're there an hour, they probably only have 1 or 2 because they're like slow sipping type of thing. But there's some people that just come in and they just drink and drink and drink. So I don't know. Like you said, this is a video from 3 years ago, but I definitely see. I don't know. I definitely see somebody have more than 3 or 4 drinks before at a bar.
Of drinks. This one was for men, and that's what they would say. Guys can maybe have more drinks because they weigh a little more than girls. And then you're supposed to just, like, you go to school, you learn that you shouldn't drink and drive, but if you do, here's the chart. Here's how it works. Now, it didn't really hit me how insane that is until I moved to Sweden, because in Sweden, a 0.02 is over the limit.
Wow.
So at 0.1, you're halfway at your limit already. So if you so much as like look at a beer, there's a good chance like you might be over the limit. And I know that sounds funny, and
you definitely gotta have somebody with you if you just drinking 1 in Sweden. Man, Sweden ain't playing around with this.
Sense, but I mean it. Like, it's difficult to really know for sure. So you just don't drink at all. So if you meet someone that's in Sweden and they're drinking a non-alcoholic beer, or they don't have anything to drink, you just ask, they will just say to you, "I'm driving." It's as simple as that. So they don't have necessarily the same problems. And
being responsible, that's how you be responsible. Some people don't care that they drive it, to be honest. Man, then how much countries? Oh, wow. Dang.
I think the other awesome thing too is in Sweden you have the public transportation and you have the great
True.
public transportation. So in the United States, the first problem why we have this the higher drinking level anyways, or age, or blood alcohol content level, that's going to be tough for me to say, but the reason we have such a high amount of that is because we didn't have as good of a public transportation, number one, and I think they want people, maybe to encourage people to spend a little bit of money at a restaurant, so it just didn't seem feasible to not allow people to drink at all. But I think nowadays we have Uber. We had Uber. I know you have Uber in Sweden, but it's not as common. I haven't used it since I've been here 6 years. But it's much more common in the States to use Uber. And I definitely think now, like,
it depends on where you live, because I live in a country type of town, and we may have Uber, but then again, I don't think we do, because it's not a big city as if I was in Dallas or something. But
a couple times I've gone home and to visit my friends, there really is zero excuse for drinking and driving. You shouldn't do it. And I never liked the American system because it's just a guessing game. Like, okay, I can have 2 beers, but alcohol content is different depending on different drinks, beers, and I think it's better to just not drink at all if I'm going to be in the States and going out, just because I don't even want to worry about it, or to get an Uber because I just don't think it's safe otherwise. Well, I think you'll see happen in the United States.
then you gotta be careful with the Uber. Make sure you trust the Uber.
Because I just don't think it's safe otherwise. Well, I think you'll see happen in the United States is they will just lower it over time. What they're talking about lowering is to 0.08 to 0.05, which I think, if you think about it, I've been thinking about this. How many lives are saved every time they drop it by a point? Because, like, you can't say that if I'm at 0.07 and I'm driving, I'm not legally intoxicated, but how much am I impaired?
Because even too, I feel like most restaurants, their rules will have to change. I feel like they will have to start asking people. I mean, me personally, I would, if I had owned a restaurant and had a bar, I would kind of recommend that the bartender ask that person, "Hey, are you driving tonight?" or something like that. Just to make sure. So if that person drinking more than they're supposed to, at least they got a ride home. At least they not driving themselves. Like, I don't remember that being like recommended or anything in the trainings and stuff. And then again, it's been a minute, but that's what I would do.
When you look at the chart, you can see that you're somewhat impaired. So I don't want to be like a prude, or I don't want to like sit up on my high stool and tell everybody else how to live, but I just think it would be good overall in the United States if we could lower it over time, just to make it more and more difficult. Like we did with smoking or anything else, where like you couldn't smoke. You could smoke in restaurants when I was a kid, and now you can't. I think we can start slowly doing with
I mean,
drinking.
technically, you still can, because everybody vapes now. Like, it's just not cigarette smoke. Everybody smoke weed and vape. It seemed like
driving.
I see a lot of
laws in the United States, as I think it works really good here in Sweden. Although I will say in Sweden, it's not that I see so many checkpoints. I don't think they're trying to get so many people for drinking and driving at night, but they have these random checks that they do in the morning all over Sweden that like people are just so deathly afraid of, because you don't know when it's going to be, when they're just going to stop every car and do the tests. So I think in Sweden they don't really test. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's like in the States where most people are getting caught like at the nighttime coming home from the bar. They seem to do a lot of their DUI checkpoints and things in the morning here, which could be something in the United States could look at in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm more importantly interested to hear like your thoughts and opinions on what you guys think. And if you like this kind of content, please feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel somewhat, I would love to have you subscribe to hear some more things. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hey, do.
So yeah, that I feel like that's always this is always an interesting subject. And like I said, this is an older video. Maybe I can look up and see if the laws have changed, if they have brung it down to a 0.05. But I mean, like I said, better safe than sorry, because this is an important thing. As you can see, I mean, I'm sure the USA is probably up there now, #1, because it has been getting bad out here. It has, but we got options, like you said, with Uber, Lyft, and all those different things. And You just gotta make sure you're calling them and getting people home and stuff like that. That's why I said if you ask the question how you get home tonight, I feel like that you can put some limits on it. But if that person, I mean, yeah, you can call a Uber, but the person might have spent all their money at the bar. I don't know, or the bartender might be helpful and pay for it. Yeah, I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think. He said they do the stops in the morning in Sweden. So that's interesting to know here about if y'all want to, inform me on a little bit more of that. But that's all I have for this video. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.